Alright, I may have gotten the stream out of the way. This time I really want to actually review this movie without any yelling from my cousin or anything like that. This is the real review of the Lego Movie 2. As I said in the stream, that this is actually what takes place after the Lego Movie from 2014, where the Duplo people have taken over and all that stuff. And everything's all like a post-apocalyptic, I think, Apocalypseburg now. And Emmett is the only one that still feels joy and happiness, while everyone else is just dark and brooding. He even tries to show everyone that it's still awesome when it's really not. It's just kind of sad to see this happen, and Lucy and the others get kidnapped, which is also really sad. And the thing is, they seem to have a lot of varieties when it comes to Legos, because it's not just Legos themselves, but they also have Duplo, Lego Friends, and other things like that. Like, they have variety in there. Well, James says he likes it because there's other Lego sets. Though there's a debate wondering if this movie is actually better than the first one. Well, actually, I'm gonna have to say I like this movie better than the first one. Now, before you guys start typing on the computer saying, "Oh, but Menchie, you know the first one is a masterpiece. You know it's not gonna beat that." Hear me out. Okay, so the first one is good, but the second one had more going for it. I mean, it's got a really strong message in there that can be for everybody. The whole movie centers around whether you want to grow up or not, and the kind of situations that happen and occur. Take Emmett, for example, who runs into Rex Dangervest, who says that he can help him toughen up, harden his heart, and do all this stuff, when really in reality it was just for other purposes. And I said in the stream that it was actually Sister World. It's actually the Sister System where Lucy and the rest get taken. I mean, we still have Metalbeard, Batman, Unikitty, and Benny. They're still in the movie, but they're not really as focused that much. They're pretty much known as side characters in that matter. I mean, they only have Puppycorn in the only Unikitty set, which he only made a cameo. There's this queen that's wants to marry Batman, and she sings this song. Like, Lego Movie 2 is actually a musical. Like, out of nowhere, these weird musical numbers come out of nowhere. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did like a few, but some just came so randomly. Like, I'm just wondering, was this the right time for a musical to happen? So yeah, as I said in the stream, that Rex Dangervest is a portrayal of all roles that Chris Pratt has played over the years, from the Raptor Trainer to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, to Galaxy Defender, the Guardians of the Galaxy series, when he's Peter Quill and Star-Lord. And I also said this, that I really love this movie because it shows a lot more development with the humans, Finn and his sister. Now, time to time, it will show them playing with the Legos and stuff like that, but they're not getting along, and they just seem to quarrel around and stuff. And especially since what happens in the climax. I don't want to spoil it, but it needs to be addressed. So Rex tells Emmett that Lucy is apparently brainwashed, and whatever she's saying is just, it isn't true, and then he just destroys the cupcake castle and everything. Well, Finn actually did that because he's controlling Emmett, and the sister has a shocked expression on her face, and which ends up disastrous results, resulting in the Legos being put in a storage bin. The Armageddon system, whatever. And I was kind of shocked because the cliffhanger that happens. Like, I was afraid, even James was afraid that this was going to be the end. I'm like, no, this can't be the end. It can't be the end. It did a regular show finale moment. Oh, and speaking of that, Rex Dangervest turned out to be Emmett from the future. when no in his timeline when he was trying to get across those things in space, no one hurt him or rescued him or anything like that. His friends didn't come to rescue him, and he just saw all the other stuff occurring. His heart hardened, and he decided to go from good to bad, and he was just trying to toughen up Emmett to do all these bad things. Now, why is it that people from the future always end up being evil? I don't get why. My friend said it's because the future is screwed up. I mean, ever pay attention to Future Mordecai? Anyways, back to the movie review. They do manage to patch things up. I mean, it does have a satisfying ending, concluding the series. Now, I don't really want to spoil it, but it's just, it makes some laughable stop motion moments where Emmett is confronted by his future self and he's telling him to do the stuff again, but Lucy does come back to rescue him, and that mask person from before is actually, I think she's a Lego Friends figurine. Yeah, I think she's from Lego Friends. And the whole thing with the Sistar system was just, okay, so here was the main premise. They weren't destroying anything. They were just trying to play with them and stuff, but they just shooed them away, and this is what caused the whole war thing. So technically, I don't think it's anyone else's fault. I think it's all just a big misunderstanding. Like, can we all just get along? And that hard thing that Emmett made in the beginning turned out to be the Queen herself. And the Lego movie, the first one, didn't do this. It just focused on Emmett being the special, and there's some fast stop-motion moments and stuff like that. They don't really focus that much on the premise of Legos. Well, they did, but this one dove a lot more into it. And I just have to say, it's a really good ending. And I think this is the last Lego movie. I guess it is. So, I guess I'm gonna have to say it's actually better than the first. I'm sorry to say this, people, but it's true. Lego Movie 2, the second part, is better than the Lego Movie. I might have to do another video or stream where I have to say that which one is actually better, but for now, it's Lego Movie 2 that's the supreme winner, and it will take its place on my top 10 favorite animated movies. Or it could be a tie because I still like both. Oh, and one more thing before I go. If you look really carefully, in that room, there's, I think, a Unikitty pillow from the Cartoon Network Unikitty series. I think that belongs to the sister, but I just wanted to point that out because a Unikitty Lego set is shown in some kind of flashback somewhere in the movie. I just wanted to point that out. And Puppycorn was the only one from the show that made a cameo. So, if I could rate this movie, I would rate this 9 out of 10 stars. Yes, that is how good it is. More awesomer than the Lego Movie. I'm sorry, but it's my own opinion. I think it's better. And plus, that ending credits song, I wanted to stay and listen to the rest of it, but I know YouTube has the song, and I'm going to listen to it right after the review. I know that's how credits work, and honestly, they're breaking the fourth wall in the credits song. Like, it's a fourth wall at the end. Like, who does that? Only the Lego Movie can do that, no one else.